Hey buddy, what are you doing?
Getting his car ready for the racetrack.
We don't need to do that anymore.
Why?
Because, let me show you. I got paint protection film. See right here? It goes around my light. Looks really nice right there. It covers all the way down here. So wherever we do the burnouts and we burn the rubber, it is all protected. Right here I'm prepping for the install by washing the surfaces, seams, and surrounding areas. I'm using dish soap or baby shampoo, and this will remove the dirt, wax, oils, and other stuff that will lessen the bond of the PPF. As you've seen in my other videos, I follow up with a clay bar. Since this area sees a lot of abuse, the clay bar it's going to lift all those raised contaminants that will bubble the film during the application, resulting in defects in the finish. I'll link to a few clay bars in the description below, but just remember, keep the clay bars wet and covered with suds. Dry clay on paint is not good. On WorkPlay Drive, I'm building a discounts page of all the brands that have achieved WorkPlay Drive approval and offer our viewers discounts. We have an awesome relationship with Luxe and a pretty steep 15% discounts for you guys, so be sure to take advantage of that with all your orders. Along with that discount, your order helps WorkPlay Drive continue to move forward with more products and content. Today we're going to install the new Luxe paint protection film for the 2015 and up Challenger rear fenders. Like all Luxe products, these are cut to fit your specific vehicle and uses the premium Paint Protection Pro Series film from 3M. Unlike other Luxe products, this steps up the install skill required a tiny bit. I'm here to try and help you through the process. This is a wet application, but don't worry, Luxe gives you everything you need to complete the install. What you see here is the pre-release kit. Luxe has upped the size of the apply bottle, now providing 4 ounces. For this install, I only needed about 1.5 ounces. They also modified the mixture to allow us DIY people more time before the adhesive sets up. So as you'll see me mention later on, there's a lot less of those micro bubbles with this new mixture. Even though the micro bubbles go away in 24 hours, seeing less of them is much better. As you can see right here, I'm installing in direct sunlight. Don't do this. The PPF sets up too fast. You wind up with less than optimal install. The edges wind up sealing up and it becomes really difficult to apply. Now that I've done it wrong on this side, let's move over to the other side and do it the right way. We've already washed it. Clay barred this area. Everything looks good. There are some minor scratches. I'm not going to do any paint correction because I plan on doing some vinyl work in this area. So I'm going to apply as is and see how it goes. And remember, you don't want to. I've already washed the area, but you're going to want to clean all the way around. You want to use the at the greaser. You don't want to inhale that thing. Having camera issues today. Everything keeps shutting off. That's not fun. Clean inside here. I'm gonna clean down in here. Make sure all that dirt gets out. Make sure you get around the corner so you don't suck in any dirt from that area. And I've got a few interesting scratches here. Got one right there. A few around here. And I'm not going to do any paint correction just because I am going to be pulling this off in a little bit to apply some vinyl. All right. We're clean. We're going to take the prep towel and prep rag. Get those out of the way. For this part, you're going to use the apply fluid. Right here, I kind of go into detail about how I used most of the fluid when applying it in the sun. For you guys, this will no longer be an issue as Luxe provides 4 times the solution on the kits that are shipping. I love it when the wind kicks up right in the middle of applying film. That usually makes things not go well. Your ideal solution is to do this in your garage, obviously, with no wind. Okay. Again, this film is pre-cut, so it's got the taillight hole, that's what I use to guide. Get yourself in a comfortable position before you decide to tear this film off, because last time I did that I wasn't in a very comfortable position and it sucked. Get your rag. Everything's situated, because once you start peeling, you know, this stuff tends to dry quickly. So you have everything lined up, it's in the direction you need it to be in. Alright, here we go. Of course, get your fingers wet. You hear that wind whipping up. It was a beautiful day when I decided to start doing this. And it's all gone to hell. And of course the film blew onto itself. So one of the things I learned from the last one is don't pin down any of the edges until you're 100% sure, because that's your escape for all the water and all the fluid. This is nice, it's floating just right now. Once you have a good spot, just make a nice line to hold it in place. Confirm all your edges look good. That looks great. Good. Alright, so like I said, what I learned from the last time was work from the middle out, because the fluid winds up getting trapped if you push the edges tight. So you want to work your way, you want to work all this stuff out before you pressure down the edges. Also, this time around I didn't apply it in the sun, and it was so much easier to work with, minus the wind, of course. Like I said, don't put a lot of pressure on the edge, because you want to make sure you can continue pushing water out that edge. The last time when I was doing it in the sun, the edge is sealed and I can push the water up to the edge but not out of the edge. So we're going to try doing it a little differently this time around. Just be careful, you don't want to slide this squeegee across your paint. Paint protection film is great, you just add a little heat and those scratches just go away, but your paint, not so much. You see how these fingers keep coming back? I'll show you a trick to get rid of those in a second. Alright, so now we're going to start getting serious. Now you can make yourself a nice felt tip squeegee by just putting your microfiber on the edge of it. Again, we're not applying a ton of pressure yet. We are pushing out all the air, being light on the edges to keep those edges from sealing themselves down. Work the shortest path to the open edge. There we go. And in these light areas, you're going to have to go in and dry them out a little bit, but just work it a little bit at a time. Okay, so here's the trick. You put the towel on the edge and it soaks up the water as you go over the finger, so the water doesn't reopen the finger up. And you got to work these into smaller batches. They keep reopening. You just keep slowly working them out and drying as you pass by. Okay, get a dry section of the towel. And again, I'm not using a lot of pressure because I still want to work water out of these areas. This looks a little frustrating, but it's actually not that bad. Just keep going. Alright, so we got all those areas down. Now we want to work out the water. We want to use a little bit more pressure this time around. Now if you catch it in the right angle, you're going to be able to see areas that are with water trapped in them. I don't have that same problem this time around because I never sealed the edges. So you have all these openings here for water to rush out. And if you go hard, then lighten up, hard, then lighten up, you're able to push that out and not seal that edge. So you don't have these like little water pockets. Now because of the water, you gotta watch all these edges. You wanna do that same thing. You wanna be careful that when you shove this in there, you wanna make sure you're not lifting up the film that's in there. You wanna make sure you dry the solution out of these crevices, and then again push down on the edges. Soak up the water as you push out. Alright. Go around the edges. So what you'll see when there's water trapped under there is it looks like a black bubble. There's no air bubbles under there, which is awesome. There's like little micro pockets of air, which apparently will dissipate as this dries. Alright, so I'm going to do a close-up of what this looks like right now. After the application is complete, you're going to see micro bubbles and stuff like that. And that's just normal, and it's going to go away within 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on the weather here. I think it came out pretty good. This is my first time physically applying PPF. And I'm impressed. I also do know that, after watching it be done, that what I'm seeing here, which most of you will be freaking out trying to get all this out, this is going to go away. So don't freak out. I'll do a zoom in and I'll show you. Looks like little microfine air bubbles underneath here. And this will all go away. So, when you're doing your application, don't freak out. Just, get out what you can, get out the grossly huge stuff. And then these micro things you just leave there. And, just let it sit for 24 hours. Now the question, how does it work? Really well. I did 6 runs at the drag strip, each with a tire cleaning burnout of about 4 to 5 seconds. Following that, I filmed the Taser line lock how-to video, doing 1 epic burnout to test that out. Each of these cleaned up easily with a little spray wax, and that rubber came right off. I gotta say, I've been on the fence with mud flaps for a while to protect my paint, and one day I love them, one day I don't, and I just never could make the commitment to grabbing them. So this is a great alternative to that, where you can actually protect your paint from rocks and so on, and also, easily clean up that stuff if you guys like to hang out on the drag strip or just roast your tires somewhere. So, if this video helped you out, please consider gently pressing that like button. If you're stopping by for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.